What's up, guys? Frugal BC, and today we're going to talk about Splinterlands. Now, I've been playing Splinterlands now for about 3 months. I did a short video about 3 months ago and then a 30-day follow-up. But I'm going to talk today about how my 3 months has gone on Splinterland and whether you can really make money from it. All that on today's Frugal BC. Hey, what's up, guys? Frugal BC coming back at you. Today, I'm going to talk about my 3-month anniversary of playing Splinterlands. 3-month, I think I did the video September 5th, so it's probably a little over 3 months, but that's fine. The big thing here is I want to talk to you about how it's gone. So the premise is this is a blockchain-based game that you can earn money playing. I'm going to talk to you about what I've learned from that and whether that's really accurate or, what that actually means, because it's not like you just show up and they start handing cash to you, right? So we're going to get into what my experience and some of the changes too that have happened in the last 3 months that have changed that equation as well. Before we do that, I'd really love it if you hit the like button, and if you'd like to subscribe to the channel. I do crypto experiments, so you can learn from those experiments without spending your own money. I'm spending my money to learn them, and then you can learn from my experience. And maybe you want to try them yourself, maybe you don't. It's all up to you, but that's what we're bringing to you on the Frugal BC channel. So enough about that. Let's get right into it. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so as you know, for people who have played Splinterlands before, if you don't, this is where you log in. Before you do that, it gives you a little signal that tells you, they give you this little window and they tell you how much is left in the season. A season is 15 days. And at the end of the season, depending on what ranking you get to, so I'm going to hit play now so we can get into it. Depending on your rating, you can move up the levels from bronze 3, 2, 1. You start out at novice, and then you go bronze 3, 2, 1, then silver, then gold. I think diamond is after that. I don't really know because I've never gotten that high. So here's the thing: to level up in this game, you not only have to increase your rating, but you also have to increase your power level. Now, what's the power level is based on the cards in your deck. So the game starts you out with certain base level cards. So if I go to cards like playable, oh, I have all these cards. This is pretty cool, right? Look at all these cards. And so it looks like you got all these cards. Now, in actuality, if I go to owned, you don't own any of the cards they let you play with, but these are all the ones I've actually owned. So some of these I've bought with money that I've made in the game, and some of these were gifts that you win at the end of the season or for completing various quests. Lately, I've done a couple quests and I've gotten those stupid potions, which are pretty much useless because it's really hard to buy. If you go over to Marketplace, okay, here's the shop. Packs. Yeah, so we're waiting. There's a general sale coming to actually buy these new packs that are coming. If you have a voucher, you can get if you get vouchers, you can get early on the cards. But basically, there's cards released every so often. Other than that, there's nothing to buy. So if you guys were in Magic the Gathering back in the day, there was always cards. Obviously, you could go to the store and buy a pack of cards, and there was always a store that had cards somewhere, right? Unless you lived in a place that didn't have a card store, or a Walden Books or something. I remember buying my first Magic cards at Walden Books back in the day this is back in the 90s. You can get an idea how old I am. This is one of the bummers of the game, is that even if you wanted to put money into buying packs, you couldn't. So you could put money into buying cards. So let's go back to that. So these are all the cards that I got. Now, if you look at, well, where should I go from here? So if you look at my power rating, it looks like it's really low. So are all these cards just not worth very much? No. The reason I have a very low power rating is because I have almost all of these rented out right now. So if I go to my account and I go balance history, I'm going to filter out. There's a little fee that they take for doing this. If I go rental market payment, so this is the amount in DEC that I'm making from renting my cards out. In case you're wondering, the 0.5 is from the Venari Wavemaster. So I'm trying to get like more into that range. But normally if I took all these out, I think my power rating is like maybe 150. Like it's not very high, even with if I had none of these rented out. So the way that works, by the way, is the different rarity levels. So the common, most of these are common, as you can see, and you know, you get like 10 for those or something like that. And then you get a little bit more for the rare. You get a lot. I don't have any epic, but you get a lot more for that, and so on and so forth. And so what you have to do when if you want to go up the rankings is that you also have to build your power level up. Now, here's the challenge. Back in the day, when I first started playing this game, and it was, I believe last year, I actually started playing it a little bit. You would get a little DEC no matter what level you were at. You started playing, you got, now you might get it was like 0.0003 DEC, but you got something for playing it. Unfortunately, now you don't get anything until you get up to bronze 2. So I kind of started building this account, but now the only way I can rank up is to basically buy my way into the ranking. So I'd have to spend money on the cards that would get me to that level. So I could do that by buying a bunch of rare cards that would equal that, or what I used to do is rent. What I would do is I'd rent the Dragon Jumper, and Dragon Jumper would give me enough power to get up to bronze 2. And of course I had to do the rating too. I had to work my way up that way as well. And then once I got into bronze 2, what would do, I'd spend like 10 DEC to rent this card, but it improved my win rate so much that I would actually make money way more than 10 DEC playing. So I was building up my account that way. Well, recently they changed it so you don't get rewards until you get to bronze 2. And at first, this is also interesting. At first, I was getting like really good. Once I got to bronze 2, I was getting really good rewards. So I could make up for the money I spent on the renting on the Dragon Jumper. Now I can't, because even once you get to bronze 2, the rewards are so minuscule that I can't. The economics of the game are not working out. And that's not necessarily an accident, from what I understand. So recently, Bulldog 1209 or whatever his numbers are. I wish he should have a simpler title than that. It'd be easier to reference him. So he's kind of like the Splinterlands dude on YouTube. And he interviewed the founder of Splinterlands. And they said that was very purposely because they want to weed out the bots from the system. And so the idea was like, yeah, they want people to actually put money into the game and have some skin in the game before you can earn, which is fine. But also I feel like the game wasn't really sold that way. I feel like if you're going to sell a game, I think a lot of these blockchain games are basically becoming that. So maybe that's something that I think people should be aware of. Like you can't just, most of these games, I think you can't just, or at least the ones I've come across, you really can't just play and earn. You kind of have to put money in. And so Splinterlands, what I liked about it from the get-go is you really could play it, and they give you cards. So there's some games where, like I tried this one Decrops that I thought about maybe doing on the channel, and like, so I sign up for this thing and I get into the play, and there's like, not only do they not start you out with anything, but you can't even buy anything on the game. Like I was looking, like there's nothing to buy. There's like shop is empty. Like there's nothing available. So basically I can't play this game to even try it out. Well, why would I put money into a game that I can't even try out? What's the point of that? So I have to applaud Splinterlands for having cards that are playable, even if you don't own them. And I think that's fair. Why should they just give you free cards? You can buy all the cards that they give you free, by the way, and then you own them. So how am I playing the game now? Well, basically every season, my goal is to get up to bronze 3, and I can do that with all the free cards. I don't have to use any of the ones I bought. And then I rent out the rest. So if you go on here and you look at the cards and you go to rent it out, just about every card I own is rented out. And I showed you what I was making in there. So I'm making about probably 1.5 DEC a day or something close to that, maybe a little less. Maybe it's more like 1.2. So my plan is, and this is a pretty slow growth plan, but my plan is to like just keep renting them, let the account accumulate, make sure I'm at least in bronze 3, so I get the 5 chests at the end of the season. And as I gain more DEC, I'll use that to buy more rare cards, which is the level I can probably afford doing that. It's still going to take a while. I can afford like some of the bottom level rare cards right about now, or some of the higher ones like the Venari Wavesmith that I'm like renting out for quite a bit. That one was more like 180 some maybe, and it's probably more now because the prices change all the time. Of course, it's the market. And so basically that's my plan for it, is to keep building up my DEC and then buy more cards that increases my rental. And eventually it'll have a little snowball effect. It'll take a while to kick in, but eventually I'll have like the economics will work out where I'll have actually pretty good money coming in. And eventually I'll have enough power that I can get into bronze 2 without renting cards, because that's the main thing. Like it doesn't make sense for me to spend 10 DEC to rent a card that gets me to bronze 2, and then it takes me forever to get there. And even when I get there, I don't have the money for it, or I'm not really earning the money back to make up for the card rental. Like so of course the way around that is to play this thing like constantly. But I want to play game. I just don't want to play this game for like 8 hours a day. I'm not going to do that. Like the game should be, I mean, I maybe do that if I can make like a ton of money on the game, but you really can't. Now, mostly that's because I just don't really feel like I want to put a lot of money into this game. And I thought about looking into like maybe putting a few bucks in to speed things along and buy a couple of these rare cards to boost my power level and rent them out to kind of pay myself back in a way. So that's something I might do. I haven't fully decided on that yet. But in the meantime, so I guess that's the thing I want to say, just to kind of close up shop a little bit. That's the thing I want to say about these blockchain games in general. Very rarely can you just jump in and start from nothing and build your account up purely in game without putting any money into it. They just don't work that way. Some of them are really crazy, like Ethereum, not Ethereum, Axie Infinity. Like those monsters are like, God, what are they like? They're like 300 some a piece. So basically you're going to put 1,000 in. That's not even counting fees. So you're probably really going to put in like $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 into this game just to start. Do you like the game? You can't even find out. Like, so I would say go into these. If you're going to start Splinterlands today, I'm not sure what your mechanism would be. I think it'd be really hard to play this game without putting a significant amount of money in to start with, because I just don't see how the economics work out for you. Now, if you put a lot of money into the game, the people who play it a lot, and you really learn, you have to put the knowledge in too. You really got to take the time to actually learn how this game works, which is understandable and fair. Then I think you could get to the point where you're actually making a lot of money. I mean, imagine you build up all these cards and you're getting like, I don't know, 100 DEC a day or 200 DEC a day. And that comes out to, well, God, that would be a couple bucks. You probably need more like 1,000 DEC a day. But if you're actually making good money renting cards out, that would be pretty cool. You know, that's something you could do, and just in the background, you could build up your account. I mean, if you're making like even 20 a day, say, you'd be able to reinvest that money into new cards and keep making money and build up the account. So basically, I think that's the thing to walk away with this. And I'm gonna stop my share here. I think that's the main takeaway that I have, is just like, don't play around with these games, but if you're going to, I think you got to be really careful about what games you actually invest money in. So this is kind of a challenge. I think this is going to be a challenge for blockchain-based games going forward. They're going to have to find a way to bridge that gap between, hey, I want to try this game out because I don't want to put hundreds of dollars into a game before I know that I even like it. Like maybe I don't like playing it. You know, that's, you don't want to play a game you don't want to play, right? Even if you do make money, it's like, you know, it's not very fun to like sit there. And this game is like, you know, kind of fun, but not. It's more strategy. Like it's not like Hearthstone where you know, you're actually making moves where it's almost like a Magic the Gathering style game. This game is more. It's similar, but it's more like all the play happens before the match starts. Like it's all about setting up your strategy, knowing what moves, what combinations work well together, and strategically, it's pretty you know, intriguing, I think. And I think they solve it by giving you some free characters to play before you can earn. And I don't have a problem with that. I just want people to have a bright-eyed view of like what this actually is. Don't think going into this that you can just start playing for free and earn money, which before you could, by the way. So that is an important distinction, but I understand what they're saying about it. The idea that you should probably have to have some skin in the game before you earn. So I guess that's my take on Splinterlands after 3 months. Be curious what your thoughts are in the comments. Let me know. Do you like the game? Have you played the game? What do you think about it? What do you think about the economics? Are there other games you like better? Just let me know all that in the comments. And that's it for me. We'll see you in the future.